Members, as we reconvene here this morning to discharge the functions that we have been constitutionally mandated by our constituents to perform, we have a duty to the people who have elected us to conduct ourselves in a way that is befitting of the office we behold. Our primary constitutional function is to nominate a Taoiseach for appointment by Verona Murphy. The issue of the recognition of the Regional Independent Group as a technical group is at the core of yesterday's dispute. On Friday, the 17th of January, I outlined in correspondence to each member of the Business Committee legal advice that my office had received from the OPLA. In that correspondence, I further sought submissions from those who did not agree with the advice I had outlined. I was explicit that I had made no decision of the issue on the recognition of the Regional Independent Group as a technical group in that correspondence. I invited submissions by close of business yesterday. And those of you who did not agree with the advice had the opportunity to make a submission and provide alternate advice for me to consider. I embarked on this process in the interest of fairness and in also recognising that the standing orders could be open to interpretation. As of yesterday, I received one submission on the issue of the Regional Independent Group, and I thank the authors of that submission. Overnight, I considered the submissions and advice that I received. I reviewed and discussed the submission with my staff. It seems to me that there is significant ambiguity in the wording of the Standing Order 170, paragraph 1 and paragraph 4. I will seek senior counsel advice on this matter before coming to an impartial final decision. Therefore, in accordance with my solemn declaration, that I will apply the rules as laid down by this House in an impartial and fair manner, and the powers conferred on me by Standing Order 75.3. I have decided that to avoid prejudging my final decision on that dispute, the following technical groups will be recognised for the purposes of any debate in today's proceedings pending a final ruling on the matter. Independent and Parties Technical Group, Independent Technical Group. I trust my decision today provides a roadmap for all parties and all members to work towards an outcome that is acceptable to all. Thank you. I now call on our Government Chief Whip to make a brief statement, I believe.
Thank you, Ceann Comhairle. Ceann Comhairle, I'd like to update members of the House that the Government recognises that there is ambiguity in standing orders, which requires clarification in differentiating between members of opposition and Government. Government believes that our Dáil is ever evolving and standing orders should evolve to reflect membership and groupings of the House. Government will today bring forward a motion to establish the Committee on Standing Orders and Dáil Reform, to fully engage with the committee and to work to secure agreement as soon as possible as regards formation of technical groups and the rights of unaligned members acceptable to Government and opposition. Government is fully committed to working with all parties and none in the committee to make the required changes that are fair not only to members of this current Dáil but future Dáils in the years ahead. We will aim to have this resolved by February the 5th.
If you could move to the order of business.
Thank you, Ceann Comhairle. It is proposed that the following arrangements shall apply in relation to the business to be taken today. The proceedings on the nominations for Taoiseach shall, if not previously concluded, be brought to a conclusion after 45 minutes, and the following arrangements shall apply hereto. The allocation of time shall be as follows: speeches of a proposer and seconder, 5 minutes each, and speeches by representatives of parties who have not made a nomination, 7 minutes per party. If they have not made a nomination, speeches by representatives of the Independent and Parties Technical Group and the Independent Technical Group, 7 minutes per group. Members may share time. Speech by Taoiseach, 10 minutes. On the determination of any nominations for Taoiseach, the Dáil shall, unless it otherwise orders, stand suspended for 3 hours. The proceedings on the approval of the nomination by the Taoiseach of other members of the Government shall, if not previously concluded, be brought to a conclusion after 1 hour and 13 minutes, and the following arrangements shall apply thereto. The order of speaking and allocation of time shall be as follows. Speeches by Taoiseach and Taoiseach, 15 minutes each. Speeches by representatives of Sinn Féin, 15 minutes in total. Speeches by representatives of the Labour Party and the Social Democrats, 7 minutes per party. Speeches by representatives of the Independent and Parties Technical Group and the Independent Technical Group, 7 minutes per group, and members may share time. The proceedings on the motion re-establishment of Select Committee on Subsidiarity European Union Legislative Scrutiny shall be taken as the second last item of business without debate, and any division claimed thereon shall be taken immediately. The proceedings on the motion re the Committee on Standing Orders and Dáil Reform shall be taken as the last item of business without debate. Any division claimed thereon shall be immediately taken, and the Committee shall report on matters relating to the formation of technical groups in the 34th Dáil not later than Friday, the 31st of January 2025. And on the conclusion of the proceedings on the business outlined, the Dáil shall adjourn until 2 p.m. on Wednesday, the 5th of February 2025.
Thank you. I must now put the question on the Government Chief Whip's business proposal. Is the proposal agreed to? Not agreed. Not agreed. Deputy.
I want to raise again the issue of suspending the House for 2 weeks. It has been quite some time since the election. We all know that there are huge challenges facing the country and indeed an expectation that we all get down to work. I see no reason, no rationale for a further 2-week delay. In fact, people will regard it as quite scandalous given the time wasting so far that we would rise for a further 2 weeks. So we object to the order of business on that basis.
Thank you.
I do welcome the fact that government has now finally acknowledged that there has to be a differentiation between government and opposition, and that no TD can be in government and opposition at the same time. I'd further say, Ceann Comhairle, that this is not a temporary arrangement for today. There has to be an explicit understanding that procedurally and in accordance with logic and the value of democracy, that distinction is recognised and respected throughout all of our work. And by the way, considerable time could have been saved yesterday had the government the foresight to simply recognise that logic and the value of that logic to the functioning of the Chamber.